where pastors are now telling people that they should consume salt in ample quantity. They are trying to push people to early graves.
Okay, now,
as far as I'm concerned, because it will damage your kidney, it will lead to hypertension.
Yes.
And all kinds of preventable diseases. Yes. This is, you can, on your own, you can even just check.
Sure.
Just check. And we can't be in a situation in where I was watching an interview, somebody was told, use Google. He refused. Because he knew if he used Google, he would be exposed right there as ignorant.
Okay, but
so you can, as we are discussing now, you can check what are the harmful effects of too much sodium consumption. So people should just ignore this pastor who has said, oh, consume. Otherwise, if they choose not to ignore him and they are consuming salt like they are consuming ice cream, they are going to pay for it.
Exactly. It will cause a pandemic. But when, religious leaders misinform the public, especially in the area of health, who should hold them to account?
I think even Christians should hold them to account. Christians, governments.
Yes.
I also thought about this. I said, this man is in his 60s. Will any man in their right mind at that age be talking about much of sodium intake? Perhaps he is teaching what he would rather not practice. The funny thing is that when some of the members run into trouble, those that follow pastors sheepishly, they do not have access to, they cannot afford the kind of health care that these pastors can. If anything happens to Oyakilome today, he can fly abroad and get.
He has the funds.
He has the funds. But when they start having, when his members start having NCDs, non-communicable diseases, as a result of things like kidney failure, like heart issues or whatever it is.
And also, let's not forget some religious leaders who tell, don't go to the hospitals, come to church for healing. Instead of go to hospital.
Nobody is saying sodium does not have its use to the body. But things must be consumed in moderation. And what is suggested is 5 grams a day. That is the World Health Organization threshold, 5 grams a day. If you are telling people to consume more than that, then that means you know what those doctors do not know.
Absolutely.
And you must be ready to explain it. Maybe in a debate, let's get a scientist, a solid healthcare practitioner.
Exactly.
Let's have him spar with you so that you can share ideas.
Exactly.
Where is your idea coming from? When did you suddenly chance on this idea that you now want to sell to our people? Remember, even during COVID, some people were consuming salt. They thought that by consuming salt, and people died. Yes, some people died in the process. Our people should not listen to pastors sheepishly.
Exactly.
I will never be in that situation. There's no way that you will ingest salt in ample quantity that it won't have a terrible repercussion.
But
anyway, because of our time,
we just ask a one-liner.
We see. I just want our people to know that God is not against medical science.
Absolutely.
People should not be dispensing superstitions.
2 days ago, there was this video by Pastor Chris where he spoke about salt consumption. In that particular video, he spoke about salt consumption and tried to tell people that, look, the fear they have put in your mind regarding salt is not totally true or may not be totally true. And of course, that video have generated a lot of reactions from Nigerians. In fact, the federal government yesterday put out, through the Ministry of Health, how to put out a statement, telling Nigerians to practically ignore what was said in that Pastor Chris video. And now we see a lot of TV stations, TV presenters trying to argue about it. There are also those that have come out to say, look, this is what Pastor Chris was trying to communicate. Maybe you people misunderstood him or trying to misquote him. But then again, it is still a question of salt, right? what is the implication of excessive salt consumption? Because I also know that there is implication for lack of salt. If you don't take salt at all, there's also a problem. But I would like to hear from you guys, medical doctors, nutritionists. Please educate us in the comment section. From your own experience, tell us what is, and for people that have had one or two issues, or for both excessive usage of salt or lack of it thereof, please drop your comments in the comment section.